You want your daughter to be an old woman when it comes to be married.
No, I want her to have her. I want her to be educated. I want her to have a college degree before she gets married.
Why?
How many of you have heard this saying? Single black mothers raise their daughters, but love their sons. How many of you heard a mother tell her son, I want you to get a college degree before you get married? Why is it only mandatory for the daughter? Because mothers have a fear that their daughter might not have enough money to survive, thus having to depend on a man. Their ultimate fear. And it's not like women don't want to depend on a man to support his family. It's that this propaganda has made them afraid. Men, they actually think that once they marry us, we're going to go from Boyce Watkins to Ike Turner. We're going to hold our money over their head and abuse them emotionally. We're going to leave them for a younger woman, homeless, broke, on the sidewalk with the kids holding a sign. Now, this might sound a little dramatic to you, but it's because it is. And women have a tendency to think on a worst case scenario and manage their life according to said fear. When in reality, single black mothers, you should be encouraging your son to get a degree before he gets married, so that he doesn't have to depend on a woman. Because how I see it, women are holding homes and money over men's head. Girlfriends are kicking their boyfriends out of the house and bragging about it, knowing that they don't have anywhere else to go. And all this do is strengthen your insecurity to thinking, if I do get married, a man is going to do the same thing to me. Kevin Samuels said some of the realest shit I heard one time, and it's simple. He said that other races of women go to college to find their man, but black women go to college to prove that they don't need a man. Let's get into this shit real quick, y'all.
Are you raising your daughters to be wives?
Yes, I am. My daughter is on honor roll.
That's a good student. That's not necessarily a wife.
And she's on honor roll. She has a nice personality. She's smart. She works hard.
Sounds like a decent human being, but that is not a wife. What is a wife?
Now, what is a wife? The question might seem simple, but if you take into account the times that we live in, the question is not that simple at all. Now, traditionally, a wife's role was to serve her husband, to prepare the meals, prepare his clothes, his personal needs. She was also a mother, so she took care of the kids and their needs, also educating them. If she worked, which was optional back then, she was professional. She was disciplined, polite. She wasn't ratchet and loud and embarrassing her family. Wives also used to participate in volunteer work and community activities, but more importantly, they understand how to cooperate with a man on a long-term level. See, there are a little over 46 million black people in the US, and 46% of black families are raised by a black single woman. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm gonna be honest. Black women don't really have the success or the experience with long-term relationships. They are accustomed to 2 or 3 year relationships, breaking up for whatever reason, going single for a year or two, then getting back into a 2 or 3 year relationship. And this is a cycle that repeats itself and repeats itself until you're 45 or 50. And you look up and you realize, I don't have anything to teach my daughter pertaining to a married life. Because the women this age, her age, they were brainwashed into believing that college was the key to the world. Remember back then, if you had a family member who went to college, y'all considered them the one who made it? That's before we knew the truth that college was getting most of us. You see, you come home with them 2 degrees making $65,000 a year. And a good brother up the street got a GED working construction. He been making 65 for the past couple years. And he don't got a bunch of student loan debts. But it's a lot of ways to get rich nowadays without going to college. So I'm not saying nothing is wrong with college if you can afford it. But if you are poor, it will not save you. Come on, y'all.
Man, 30 years old, what you're doing is raising your daughter to get out here, to go get a college degree, to live her life, to experience it, and to get out here and have her fun and be an independent woman. And then you think at 30, she's going to turn around and be able to pick a man off the tree. That's not how that works. You're not really raising your daughter to be a wife. You're raising your daughter to be an independent, modern woman.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's why 1 in 4 Black women will never marry in their lifetime, because of what you're talking about. Because when I asked you if you're raising your daughter to be a wife, you started citing her education.
Now, there is a lot of truth in what he just said. Black single mothers do encourage their daughters to go out and get a degree. Go out and have fun before you get married. And this is some bad advice. Also, it highlights your negative perspective surrounding the idea of marriage, like it's a jail or something. Yeah, have all of your fun before you get here, because there's no fun allowed in marriages. And this is not true. All you're doing is making it harder for your sons. Now, he might come across a girl that he like, or a girl that he want to marry, but he's too embarrassed to marry her because she had fun with everybody. And then you shame us saying that a real man doesn't care about a woman's background or a woman's past. And that is bullshit. I've been in enough relationships to know that love is not enough to maintain a healthy relationship. When it comes to long-term relationships, respect is actually more important than love. If a man can't stand next to his girl proudly because he's too embarrassed that she had fun with everybody, then he will not respect her, nor will he think about all of her degrees as he's leaving her. This is why I believe a lot of black women get degrees just to say that they got one. And I'm not against school. I'm a student of knowledge myself, so I always encourage learning. But from a financial perspective, it don't really make a lot of sense to go to school for psychology or something, graduate, then come out here and start a salon doing hair. With all that student loan debt, you could have broke the building that you're working in instead of renting. But a lot of women go get degrees that they don't use in the long run. And the ones that are ambitious and do use their degrees, y'all don't really have time for a husband or a family. So honestly, y'all are raising single, independent women under this false idea that this is what men want. But let me know what y'all think, y'all. You here at A Man's World. Like, comment, subscribe to the video, y'all. It's your boy Swartz. Out.